All right, we're live, guys. All right, we're live. I'm going to change the camera so you can see what's going on the other side. Oh, let me hit a cam. Let me change settings, camera, back camera. All right, that's better. All right, I don't see anyone in the basement now. It looks like we've got 3 people watching. Hello, Abel. Everyone's in there. I'm working on this Kawasaki. I'm just about done. I just got to put the oil in it. And then we'll be on the Quantum. So let me just get squared away here. I'm setting up the camera. All right, let's see. Ooh, okay. All right. Actually, with the camera like that, I can't see if anyone's in the basement, which is not fun. So if Stella, you know what? Let me copy Stella privately. And she's supposed to co-host with me today. Let's see. Stella. There we go. All right, I just copied Stella, so hopefully she will come on. I'll see people in the basement because right now I don't see anyone in the basement. As soon as I see people in the basement, I'll let them up, and Stella's going to co-moderate with me. So I'll wait here for a minute until Stella comes on. Basically, this is an old Ransom Bobcat. I mean, I'm talking old. This thing is late 80s, early 90s. This thing needed just a tune-up. It's got the oval air filter and pre-filter. I put a genuine Kawasaki oil filter on it, genuine Kawasaki fuel filter on it, and changing the oil. I got to look up how much it takes, but right now I don't see anyone in the basement. If you guys are in the basement, somebody text me because it's not showing up as anyone in the basement. Let me see, guests. Nope, just showing up as me. Oh, there we go. There's Wayne. And there's Stella. Okay. All right, we got Wayne and Stella. Now I can start. Can you guys hear me?
No,
Yeah,
you're live, man. I can hear you great.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to business here. Stella, you can take the controls.
Alrighty, man.
How's this picture? Can you see it?
Yeah, we can sort of see it.
All
It's
right.
I drop it down just a little bit because you're kind of hidden behind your logo just a little bit.
All right, hold on.
So tell us what you're doing, Kenny. I missed the intro.
No, this is just a Ransom Bobcat from the late 80s, early 90s that needed just a tune-up.
Nice.
So yeah, this thing is basically very old. So all Kawasaki parts. Let me plug you in. Okay.
Wayne, how are you doing today?
Not bad, Stella. You?
I'm doing great.
Hey, can somebody look up the oil capacity for a Kawasaki Frank Boy 460 Victor? FB 460V. I'm assuming it's about a quart and a half.
Now, does that Kawasaki take 10W40? Because that's what we see.
No, this is an old flathead. I'm putting straight 30 in it.
Oh, okay.
Flathead. There's the FB 460V Victor.
Frank Boy 460 Victor.
B as in boy.
Oil capacity.
That's with filter. It's going to filter. Usually it's about 19, 20 ounces.
FB, Stella. B as in Bob.
Oh, wait. It says it right here. It says on the dipstick 0.4 liter. Go ahead.
It says 1.4 quarts when changing the oil and filter. If you're not changing the filter, you can use 1.3 quarts of oil.
That's weird. Right here on the dipstick, it says add to full point 0.4 liter. What the hell? That's weird.
Well, I mean,
I'm wondering if it's at the bottom of the dipstick. You know.
well,
You're saying,
my general recommendation to anybody is just put the amount of oil in that the dipstick says you need.
oh, no, but I don't want to start out overfilling it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that sucks them
No,
out.
you can get a decent idea from that. I mean, that's easy enough.
You said 1.4.
Yeah, it said 1.4. So anyway,
so we'll put in 1.2 to start and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know when this came up, but Abel Lock, I agree with you. Old stuff is better. Sort of like me.
Uh-oh. Vintage.
That's right. No, I tend to think of myself more as a classic.
There you go.
Because that's the big debate in the world I'm from. Is it a vintage? Is it a classic? You know.
Or is it just old?
Or am I just old?
There you go. All right, there's one. And then we'll get to the quantum when we're done with this. But I want to call this. It's supposed to rain, so I want the guy who has this. He's a guard at work. He's a landscaper on the side, and I just want him to be able to pick it up before it starts pouring.
So have you already sucked all the old oil out of it?
Yeah, I actually took the dipstick out because usually with these dipsticks you could take them out and safely put your tube in. Because sometimes the dipstick tube is a little too thin for your oil suction tube.
Yep.
I'm going to put in like 1.2. All right. That's about 1.2. Oh, someone's in the basement.
I hear that.
Can you bring them up?
Hank, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wayne,
on a Kawasaki, those that don't know, you do not screw in the dipstick. So right now it's just past full. So let me start it, get it flowing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
What'd someone say? What did they say?
They said, Stella, you're not old, you're just well seasoned. And I appreciate that.
Like a good steak.
Yeah. That's right. Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, but with a good steak, you got to let it rest, eh?
There you go. Get it nice and juicy. I guess it applies.
God. Yeah. This is, and you complain about your live streams going off the rails here.
I know.
And I'm not doing any of it.
I know.
All right, might be time to mute Kenny. No, I think he sort of muted himself with that
my earbuds.
Yeah, your earbuds are taking care of that for us.
They got noise cancellation. Yeah. Run it for a second and then we'll see what oil is. It's running a lot smoother now. I changed the plug and I changed the oil. It was hunting like crazy before. Yeah, it sounds really good.
I think there's a difference between seasoned and pickled.
Oh, pickled is after the date.
Pickled.
All right, let's see.
So you say this thing was hunting, Kenny?
Oh, before I changed the plug and the air filter. It goes,
Now, did you mess with the carburetor at all?
There are no adjustments on this McCuney carburetor.
No, I'm saying, did you pull it off and clean it or anything like that? I guess that's the better question I should have asked.
All he said was, tune it up. That's all right.
Nice. Okay.
I like these jobs. And it's weird. Here's how you know you got an old Kawasaki. It's got a real dipstick, not that plastic crap that's on there now.
Well, I would have assumed hunting would have led to a clogged idle jet.
Could be. Or it could have been a plug, could have been this, could have been that.
Did you change the fuel in it?
No, he put a fresh tank of fuel in it.
Oh, okay. That's what they all say.
Yeah, I never trust that.
And then you find out that it came from last fall.
Right. Yeah. And they put it freshly out of the can from last fall.
Yeah.
A little bit of aeration, a little bit of bubbles in the oil. It almost looks like water, but I know it's not.
So Kenny, does that carb have a flat slide or a round slide?
What are you talking about? Slide. It's a regular McCuney butterfly carburetor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, see, Mikuni carburetors in my world have
Oh
slides.
no,
that
yeah,
go up
yeah,
and
like an
down.
HSR. No, but Mikuni made all the Kawasaki carburetors for their small engines.
Gotcha.
Yeah, slides are on motorcycles.
Yeah,
and
motorcycles.
Right.
And,
That's my world.
snowblowers.
And I was thinking, wow, a big thing. He might have a big slide carburetor on there.
I'm gonna let this thing idle for a minute.
You know what you know,
But-
and sometimes you don't.
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my phone real quick. I'm gonna text this guy and say, "Come get it." But now, how much to charge? Let me see. Filter. Do you know how much these filters are? I think I told you guys, my friends, this morning. Kawasaki filters now list for a little Kawasaki filter ends in the 0724. 1629 list price. They used to be like $11.
Yeah.
So
Well, whatever you're thinking about charging, you have to multiply it by 3 because I'm helping, Hank is
there you
helping,
go.
and Wayne is helping.
Everything's going up.
All right,
That's right.
here,
Everything's going up.
You know what I'll do? I'll get all list prices. All right, so somebody look up the fuel filter, which is a 49019 0027.
What?
49019 dash.
Hang on. Whoa. I got to get the screen open. You're like going too fast. Kawasaki
49019
019
dash 0027. They're usually around $13.
Fuel filter, Amazon.
Yeah, but Scamazon's usually the less. But anyway, what's it say?
$12.
Yeah, but is that OEM or is that Chinesium?
No, that's a Kawasaki.
Okay. Now, how about this air filter, Stens?
So I would say off the Cub Cadet website, it's $20.
I know. I'm gonna charge 16. That's fine. All right, Stens 100-347.
Ken, am I your secretary or what?
Today you are, bitch.
Stens
No,
what?
sorry. 100-347. That should be a little pricey because that's a air filter pre-filter.
Well, that great river in South America has them for Stens air filter combo, $18, $19.
Okay, yeah, $20. Okay, so all right, so we got 6.
1882.
Yeah, so we got 15, and we'll charge what 23. So 15 and 23 is 38. A piece of fuel line, $1.39. Oil, 39, 49, 51.
Hey Ray, I can't
20,
help you on that because I
70. Okay.
I don't work on ATVs, but I bet there's some other people in the chat. When more people show up, I'll bring this comment back up a little bit later on, but I just don't work on ATVs.
No, us neither. Take up too much room. Now, if Kenny had a Stens account, he'd likely get that air filter.
Oh my God.
Cost.
Easily.
Yeah.
And there is one Canadian fellow, one of the Stens rep was down to see me. And there is a Canadian gentleman that opened up a site where he sells on Amazon all the Stens parts, and he makes quite a few million a year. Just all he has to do is warehouse the stuff. He orders it in bulk from Stens, and he resells it on Amazon with such a markup, makes millions a year.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably a modest markup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's still laughing all the way to the bank, but you know.
So basically, he makes nothing. He makes absolutely nothing other than ordering and putting it online and reselling it.
Yeah, he's basically pushing paper.
Yeah.
Now, if he could get Stens to warehouse and drop ship, he'd really be cleaning up then.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well,
Wayne,
no, I can order something and have it drop shipped. To somebody else.
Wayne, I got a question for you. You're a Stens dealer, right? You're a Stens dealer?
Yeah.
Do you have the catalog anywhere near you, or all I'm
Yeah, I
saying is
got a
in
catalog, but it doesn't have prices. I'd have to go into
see
into my,
but normally in the old catalog, the list price would be listed in the back of the book, okay, and next to the item on the page would be an R code, which is what you paid. So, for example, if you looked up a carburetor, and above the carburetor in the catalog page it said R 01795, that means you paid $7.95. Then you look in the back under the part number, and it would have suggested retail, which was like $49.95. It was ridiculous, the markup.
They changed that. Now they come out with a separate price list, and they weren't even giving out catalogs. We were lucky enough to get a catalog for 2024, but they basically went to black and white. The other ones were all colored. And then if you order over $10,000 worth of product a year, you get an additional 10% off. And then if you make an order when they have their spring and fall orders, if you order $1,000, you get an additional 8% off. And then instead of paying shipping at $285 worth of product, they drop it down to $150, which is great. Because we had 5-star order $300 worth of parts, and we put in $700, and then we got the $1,000 order. So we sold 5-star all of his $300 worth of stuff at our cost. And basically, he got almost $600 worth of product for $300.
Wow,
way to go!
The catalog I was thinking about with the list price isn't Stens, it's Rotary. Rotary does it that way. Yeah, Rotary would list next to the part number R, and it would say 0195, $1.95. That's what you paid for. And then in the back, that part number would list suggested retail, which is like, $9.95 or something.
No, you got to watch, because right now, for example, Stens, when I order the BR2LM NGK spark plugs, my cost just went up to ordering in 10 packs. My cost just went up to almost $5 plus tax. Well, I could go to Canadian Tire and buy them for $5
each.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Canadian.
That's crazy. Wow.
Now locally,
same
the
quality?
dealers, and the dealerships, they're selling them. The dealers are selling them for $10.
Wow.
It's a tariff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on with it. Like a lot of the stuff went up. Like I think and I can't really check back on what we paid previously, because there's no way for me to. Well, I think Jake likely could, but I can't.
We could go back to old
in time
invoices
and
or
see what I
whatnot.
paid.
Ask your new prime minister what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on? Half the country.
Hey, all I
wants
know
to
is these Kawasaki filters. Yeah, no, these Kawasaki filter literally 2 months ago were $12. Now they're $16.29.
Yeah.
So.
I think some people put anticipatory price
definitely.
increases on stuff.
Absolutely. Because a lot of it didn't take effect yet. Yeah.
Because I don't think any of it's taken effect except China.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I mean, I think I heard something that's going to be like June or something, or they've postponed it till June. I don't know. I don't even like talking about it. It burns me up. So
Sten sent us an email on April the 18th saying effective the 18th of April, prices were going to be increasing. So we couldn't use our price list anymore. We have to go to our account and check out prices.
Double White is on, Ken.
Oh, he's on what? In the basement?
He's in the chat.
Oh, all right. Someone throw the link out. See if Bob wants to come up and say hi.
Okay, it's out there. Come on up, Bob.
Yeah, we haven't talked to Bob in a while. He's getting ready for the end of the school season for him.
Yeah.
There's my compressor. I hate that. All right. Quantum.
Pate Performance came on.
Remember, guys, we're on StreamYard, so only 6. So if we get more than that, we got to start booting.
Yep.
Stella's driving today, so be nice to Stella.
It's Bob.
Yeah,
How you
Bob.
doing?
Bob, how you doing, man?
He,
No, here
Stella,
and gone.
stop talking,
Oops.
Stella. He knocked. There
My
he is.
mistake.
Geez, Bob, you look as good as you did 6 years ago.
Yeah,
Thanks. I've been working on it.
he's been dancing.
Yeah.
How's the school year been, Bob?
What's that? Yeah, Dan's dad said she gets her moves from me.
There you go.
Well, I've been down and out, man. I broke my ankle and both my leg bones, so
Oh,
I've been hopping
Yikes.
around here.
Bob, I keep telling you that monkey sex is no good.
Ouch.
Whoa, look at this air filter. Holy macaroni.
Oh, that's good. Put it back.
That's
Oh,
nothing,
yeah.
man.
Holy
Yeah, people think those are good.
Just turn it around.
Wow.
Sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn around the other way.
Did its job, but look at, I wonder if that's all it was. I'm going to put a new one in real quick and see. Look at that. Oh my God. He's got a dog or a cat or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Has it got molds growing in it?
Wow. It's wet. It's definitely wet.
He's been
Yeah.
sucking
Wow.
gas
I
with
hate
that.
those that have mold growing in them. That's just like, ugh.
Wow. That's a good one.
So what you been up to, Bob?
Well, like I said, I was skiing in upstate New York, and I took a fall, and my one ski didn't pop off, so I broke my leg and my ankle.
Ooh.
So I've been kind of sitting around, but I'm going back to school this week. I got about 7 weeks or something to finish up the year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been pretty busy, just with equipment coming in. I can work for maybe 2 hours, and then my leg starts getting pretty sore. So
Yeah.
just a little bit at a time, keep them busy.
No videos lately.
No, I am. I'm gonna pick back up probably either in the summer or the fall. I am retiring from teaching this year, so
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna do
Good for you.
videos. Yeah, thanks. Video, small engine stuff, and I don't know. I'm trading stocks and keeping busy, so that's the plan.
But Tay wants you to jump in the jacuzzi.
When it come to skiing, Bob, I always told my son and my wife if I was going to take up skiing, I'm going to do it on Everest, because if I'm going to get hurt, that's the one I want to ski.
That's the one you want to die on, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
it. Which means
Hey,
I'm never skiing. That's what it means.
That means you'll go out in style, man.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to
The
break
problem with
anything.
Everest is the lines are really long.
Right.
Yeah.
There's people dying waiting in line to get up
Right.
to the top.
Yeah. It's
So
that
for
old J
small-
bar they got going. It's pretty slow.
One of the items that you can sell big time and make money on in small engine repair business is those fiberglass snow markers. You know, the ones you mark your driveway or something if you're going to clean it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know what you're selling them for? You're selling them for these idiots that don't know where their water mains are on their lawns.
Ah.
Good
brand
idea.
new lawnmowers coming in, totally destroyed.
Yeah. And
Start
those
a
that
race.
brass and cast iron don't break easy.
No.
Blade, crankshafts broken, crankshafts cracked, crankshafts
seems
bent
like
over an inch.
And it seems like that boat never leaves.
No, but
Ask me how I know.
yeah,
Yeah, I
It's
had
starting
one
to
in
rain.
this weekend. It was a Cub Cadet walk behind mower, like a 33-inch, and it's like the Toros. It has the timing belt on there to keep the blades apart
Yeah.
from hitting each other. Well, I noticed the front caster wheel on this thing was bent, and then I was getting ready to take the blades off and sharpen them, and the one blade was missing about 4 inches from each end. So I think the other blade cut it off.
Yikes.
The customer didn't even tell me there was anything wrong with the cut or anything.
Wow.
well, after 12 years, we finally got in a Toro Time Master, and the guy said I likely need a belt and a set of blades. he said the landscaper that was working on his lawn, he had aerated it and done all the stuff, sprayed it for weeds and everything. And he told the guy you should lower your cut down. Big mistake. He said, for years I've used this machine at one setting, but I decided to drop it down a notch. And he said I hit a rock, and that was it.
Yikes.
Hey, we're gonna try and start this thing up. See if the air filter made a difference.
All right.
Probably did.
Before Bob, this thing before. Wow, what the hell? What's
You
that?
would think, I mean, it'd be running on straight gas with that on there.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's not good. See, he's telling me it was doing that for him. Starting, then stop, then start, then stop. For me, it was running, but going.
Clean the car.
There we go. There we go.
Sounds
Oh,
like
it
a
is?
card clean video to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Quantum. All right. It's starting to rain. Son of a gun.
It really hasn't stopped here. I managed to get out to the shed without melting, so we'll see what happens.
So did you guys switch the time for the live stream? I thought it's usually like 1 or 2.
Hey,
No,
we didn't
that's
have
on
one
Saturday.
yesterday, Bob.
Well,
Yesterday
and
I
it's
was too
usually on
busy.
Saturdays.
Oh, Saturday. Yeah. I don't know. I usually catch it. It's right when I'm like tired of work and I go and lay down and it's like, oh, they're on. So I'll
Right.
watch.
Wait. Are you saying we're putting you to sleep, Bob?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Bob, anything new in the tech schools, robotics, or any of that crap? Anything going on?
No, nothing new. I mean,
No.
I think the problem comes down to the funding. They're
Oh, yeah.
starting to want to put less and less money into our programs. I've been seeing that over the past really like 3-4 years. So I know that our program's the most expensive. So they're trying to save money. We used to have an administration that was all for it, and then those guys retired, and now there's a new regime. So,
Yeah, but I thought the funding was going to get greater because they want more people in plumbing, trades, and electrical, and all that.
yeah, well, that's not what I'm teaching. I teach like industrial arts in high school or middle school, where that's more of like a trade school.
Yeah,
like a VOTech type of thing. So they're two different things, but they're having problems finding kids, to do the trades.
My daughter,
kid, I was telling him to you should become a plumber, and then you can own your own business, and make a lot of money. You'd have to work for 5-10 years with someone, but then once you have it figured out, and that's what a lot of these guys do if they're motivated. But my son's not. He just doesn't have that. That those skills. He's just not interested in it. He's more like, I want to get into like finance. Well, that's fine if that's what you want to do.
they want money. Yep.
Good money in finance, Bob.
Yeah. They want to start out at $100,000. Yeah.
Locally, like our schools, we like Jake and I, like the company EP, we support a small engine class at a school in Niagara Falls. And the teacher that runs it was telling me that the school board is only funding him $300 Canadian annually. Wow. So like he's got no equipment, he's got no tools, he's buying the gas himself for the kids. Yeah. He's got 14 kids in the class. And then Jake was just telling me the other day, the high school that he graduated from here, they had a trades section where they would teach kids welding. Well, I guess they don't want to be putting any money into the welding class. So somebody went out and got one of our local businesses to supply welding rod, steel plating, whatever they needed. And the school board turned it down. And they were going to donate all the stuff to the welding class. So I'm thinking what happened is the school likely lost maybe a certified welder that was a teacher, and they don't have anybody that's qualified to teach the welding anymore, so they just want to dump it.
Wow.
No, so I parked it out back behind the school.
Thanks.
I mean, look at all the kids that are going to college and then they owe for the rest of their lives, you know?
Yeah.
Tuition and all that. It's getting ridiculous to go to college.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
look
mean,
at
with
me.
that small engine class, I would take those kids and have them write letters to the manufacturers and get some engines sent over. They'll send a lot of them. Like, I mean, you only need about 8, 10 engines.
Yeah. Yeah, we donated, I think we donated something like 20 different mowers, engines, snow blowers to them. And then we lined up another guy that had a horde of non-running equipment, and they sent the truck down to his place, and he donated like 20 different mowers and snow blowers to them. So they got quite a few. But the thing is, with $300, how do you buy parts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
they need air filters, they need card rebuild kits, they need, there's a lot that they need.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. That's why I'm tired of it.
That's what I ought to do is get in touch with some school that does small engine repair and give them everything I got. That way my whole yard will get cleaned. All the parts.
And you get a tax write-off.
They'd have to
do
send
that.
they'd have to send the transport truck to your place just for the tools.
Yeah, come and get. Well, no, don't touch the tools.
Oh, don't touch the tools. Okay.
Just the equipment and the parts.
Yeah, the older machines that don't run, those are the good ones because you pretty much have to fix everything to get them going. They don't have spark. I mean, I don't know what you'd really do with new engines except take them apart and put them back together.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of these small engine classes are. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really rebuild any engines here. If someone has something, seized up engine, I'll just spec out the exact same engine and switch 4 bolts and the cables and put it on for them.
Swap it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually bought a sump for Briggs and Stratton because I was going to take it out and replace because I broke off 2 of the mounting holes. I didn't heat them up. I didn't realize that. So I broke off bolts in there and I was like, I'll just get a new sump and that'll make a good video. And of course that was 2 years ago and it's still sitting over here. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had one come in like that. It was a tractor that Briggs on the sump, they have a cast threaded part that you thread on the oil filter. So the guy put on the oil filter, got it tight, and then he just gave it one more little turn, enough to break the thing.
Yeah.
So I had to put a sump on for him. But it's stupid because I think the Kawasaki and the Kohler engines, they have like a threaded nipple in there that's steel. So you don't, that really can't happen. But luckily I had a sump pan laying around here that I just stuck on from the horde.
Yeah.
But,
well, that's it. We have the parts sitting around and everything, but when are we going to use them? Who knows, right?
I know.
Right.
And for me, as soon as I throw something away, I swear,
Yeah.
3 weeks later, I'm like, God,
Exactly
I shouldn't have
right.
thrown that thing away.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep. Yeah, it's odd. I do keep a lot of parts, but I mostly just keep those parts for me. So like I'll work with some of the local dealers and they'll get tractors that they don't want to run through their shop, trade-ins. So they'll sell them to me. They'll give me like 4 or 5 tractors for a good deal. And they all need stuff, whether it's pulleys or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll use used parts on that. Could be coils, whatever, a head. And then, I'll fix them up and I'll sell them. But like customers and that, pretty much my business is just, I'll order something that I get here in 2 days and put it on because they don't want to use parts.
Right.
But
No, if you're in business, you're doing right. You buy the OEM, you charge them out. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much the way it goes. And you know what? Being the fact that I can get stuff in 2 or 3 days, at least where I live, it works out pretty well.
Yeah.
Don't have to stock it. I stock all the filters and the plugs and that's the stuff you do for tune-ups. I have all that for like every mower.
Yeah.
I don't know how like that's why I don't do the 2-cycle stuff, because there's just a ton of stuff and every piece of equipment is different. And luckily I have enough business. I don't need to deal with the 2-cycle stuff. But between chainsaws and weed whackers and hedge trimmer, everything's different, and it's just a pain to try and keep all that stuff.
There is a system for riding mower people, chainsaw people, electric mower people. Let them have it.
Yeah.
They're geared up and they exactly know what everyone has to do. Their time is limited and they go through it. Us, we do the riding mowers. So
Yeah, we found we don't do the 2-stroke, like the handheld equipment. We don't touch it. We send that off to 5-Star in Welland. He does it all for us. We just refer everybody to him.
Yeah.
We gave him all our 2-stroke inventory, all our gaskets, carburetor, everything. We just said, here it is. Here's all the fuel lines. We kept some fuel line, because the only thing we'll do here, if a customer brings in something that's handheld 2-stroke, we'll change the plug. We'll maybe change the fuel lines, and we'll put the kinetics alkylate fuel in it. And normally 90% of the time it fires right up. It's just bad fuel.
Right.
Oh yeah, 90%.
Yeah. I mean, my problem with that 2-cycle stuff is, the people will use it and then it sits 3 months and then it won't start. And it's like, after that happened a couple times, it's like, I don't even want to deal with this. And I tell the people, like, just buy a battery powered chainsaw. You're only cutting like 10 branches a year.
Right.
So,
well, most of our customers now that got 2-stroke equipment, we've got them, these are people that are not commercial, but we sell them a lot of the 50-to-1 and 40-to-1 kinetics alkylate fuel, and they're using it full time. And for example, my next door neighbor, going on 8 years, haven't touched his equipment, fires right up.
Yep. Good stuff.
I don't think we can get that here.
Yeah.
Not the kinetic stuff. I mean, we can get
okay,
Aspen
now in the
and other
States,
stuff.
the kinetics, because we were on a live stream before, the kinetics in the States just says ethanol free, but it is the same stuff that we're buying here in Canada, and it is listed as alkylate fuel here.
Really?
And
That's
like
very
Klaus
curious.
says, if you try to wipe grease off with it, it won't touch it. It's got no solvents in it.
It doesn't have a bite to it.
Yeah, it's got nothing. It's just a pure fuel with no solvents. It won't touch grease. It won't clean shit. Like it just won't. It won't touch anything. Burns
That's very
clean.
curious, but it makes me kind of wonder why they do that.
Well, it's like Gulf Pro sent us some Gulf Pro fuels, but they can't sell it in the States because there's some kind of litigation about them using the word Gulf. And so Gulf Pro fuels is also an alkylate fuel, but right now I think it's still only sold in Canada.
Interesting. Because I think the two I can get around here are the Aspen and the Still Moto mix. I think that's the two that I can get around here.
Originally, we were buying Aspen off of our Briggs supplier, which is Power Source Canada.
Right.
But then I don't know why, but they switched to the Kinetics brand, and that's what they sell us now.
Interesting.
They got the True Fuel too, right?
Well, but the True Fuel is an engineered fuel. It's not an alkylate fuel.
It's not alkylate.
No.
Yeah, and it goes, and you know what? One of the dealers told me, not a dealer, but one of the reps for, I don't want to say which rep, but he told me that True Fuel is nothing but ethanol-free pump fuel.
That's all it is. It's pump gas. Yeah,
that's what he told me.
Said.
And he says it goes stale. Now, Jake's going to do a test. I don't know when he's going to do it, but his snowblower that he built, I think, is going on 3 years old. Now, we put Aspen in it, and he fired it up, and then it's been stored. So it's going on 3 years. It's been stored. But when he went out there and looked in the gas tank, it's all evaporated, right? Like there's nothing in it.
Huh.
But he has a jug that's going to be 3.5 years old that's open, that he's going to see if an open can of the 50 of the straight 4 mix, like the 4-stroke mix, alkylate fuel, will fire up after it was open 3.5 years. So that's still sitting in the back room.
Yeah. Good.
That's very interesting because I don't know. A while back, I went out and started one of my old scooters for you guys, and of course, that's been sitting there for 5-6 years. I mean, before my car wreck, tank was all the way full to the top with 3% two-stroke mix in ethanol free, and yeah, it took like 20 kicks to get it started, but it ran. It was smoky, you know.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that is how you store it. If you store it with very little air in it, try not to let it be that. Sorry, Kenny, I had to mute you because of the air compressor. What are you telling us? Unmute.
A little bit of water.
Oh, so the carb bowl had water in it. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it did have water in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Home Depot and Lowe's and all them that sell that gas in a can, you look at the dates and they're pretty old.
Yeah.
You got to look at the dates. I did a video on that.
VP is one of them, and what's the other one that they sell all the time? Shoot, I can't think of the other name they sell all the time.
I think it's Atlantic.
I know Husqvarna sells it. Premium, they all sell it. But VP and True Fuel are the two big ones.
Yeah.
Right, True Fuel. That's it. True Fuel and VP.
Yeah, now the VP over here in Canada, Canadian Tire, I think is like $21 plus tax. And the True Fuel I just saw was like 18 something plus tax.
Whoa.
And Jake sells the Kinetics here, tax included, for $15. So we got to review that. We might have to raise the price, but he sells a lot of it and he's still making money on it. But in the long run, it knocks off a lot of our business that we would have got because these things are all firing up. Yeah. The good thing is all these people that their equipment's still running are referring their neighbors and everybody else to him. And like this year, we've got a ton of new customers just from referrals.
Hey, clogged main jet or clogged bowl nut.
Bowl nut jet?
Yeah, the bowl nut's clogged.
Yes. There are you can get ethanol free at a lot of places like that. Even though your state doesn't sell ethanol free. Right.
But in all reality, when you go to a marina around here, if you're paying like $1.50 a liter, you go to the marina, it's $2.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah, they got you by the short and curlies.
Oh well.
Yes. I agree.
Torch tip cleaner.
So as you were saying earlier, Stella, you're exactly right. The thing that I found, we only put $0.5 liter into a couple of generators that we stored of the alkylate fuel. And just because we didn't fill the tank and they were steel tanks and they sat in the shed, we did get condensation in there.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this? Can you see this?
Hang on a second. Let me make you bigger. Wow. What was that? Is that like a plug of something that came out of it?
It's like hair. It's almost like hair.
Well, it's the same thing that was on your air filter.
Yeah, basically, but inside the fuel.
Yeah, it wasn't. Wherever he's getting from, it gets in everywhere. It gets in the fuel tank, gets past the air filter, gets in the carburetor.
So that's what it was. No passageway.
Well, that's like the greasy shop rag. He had that little what do you call it, screen filter. It looked like there was nothing on there, but you put a light behind it, you couldn't see through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. What the heck was that?
And you'd be surprised whenever we get a machine in, the first thing we do is we take the turkey baster and we suck out some fuel out of the gas tank, put it into a clear jar. Amazing what's in the bottom of that gas tank. There's water, there's leaves, there's grass, there's spiders, there's bugs, there's like all kinds of critters. They're all dead though, eh?
Yeah. How did he get in there?
Well, it's like they say you are within 3 feet of a spotter everywhere in the world, including Antarctica. And I'm like, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wherever you are in the world, you're within 3 feet of a spotter, which kind of
I believe
skeeves
it.
me out, but that's okay.
Okay, so Tar Heels is asking if anybody uses ethanol shield, like Gigantic. But if you look at Terrell's video, the ethanol shield jellified after 5 months.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think all that is snake oil, but that's neither here nor there.
No, because the
the-
BGSE2 that we use here, I took my carburetor apart after 6.5 months of storage, and it's perfectly
Right.
clean. And
Well,
that's with fuel that's only got 5% ethanol in it, though.
Well, I have not tried, what is it, the PRG 61 or whatever it is that came from those tankers bringing stuff over. But I think that's the thing that Terrell Fixes All mentioned a while back. And it
That
came
would
from
make-
somebody who was with tankers coming over from wherever the fuel is coming from, which is there for like months and months and months. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that made stale fuel good, right?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we buy 5-gallon gas containers and we use these little push mowers, and that 5 gallons lasts maybe 2 years, right? So
Yeah.
that gas is already breaking down.
Yep.
The best thing to do is, get the smaller tanks, so the half-gallon tanks, and use that and refill them, often. But no, people want to get
Nobody
one
listens, Hank.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
My next door neighbor brought his riding. He was trying to start his riding mower, and he's cranking on it. He's cranking on it. I had to go over and tell him, "You're going to burn out your starter. Let it cool down." He's cranking on it. He's choking it. I said, "Let it sit for a while." Finally, he gets it fired up. He brings it over and he wants it serviced, right? So first thing we did was we checked the fuel, and it was like, pretty old. It looked pretty old. It's pretty yellow. So I simply asked him, "Is this fresh fuel?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "When did you buy it?" "Last fall."
Fresh out of a can.
Yeah. So I said, How much did you buy?" He bought 3 jerry cans full of fuel. Okay. So I said, so while he's at our place, I said, "Okay, I'm going to disconnect your fuel line. I'm going to drain the fuel out. I'm going to put our fuel in, just a liter, right? And we're going to see how this thing fires up." Took his fuel out, put a liter of ours in, which was only a week or 2 old, turned the key, the thing fired right up on choke. And I said, "That's good fuel. Yours, you got to get rid of it." So we spent a little bit of time going down the street to see who had a vehicle that needed some fuel in it, and we got rid of it.
And people freak out about that, and they're like, "Oh my God!" But you have to explain it to them very carefully. You're dealing with a 22-gallon tank or an 18-gallon tank, and all you're doing is you're adding a half a gallon of bad. If it's like a 2-gallon jerry can or whatnot. So anyway,
Yeah, but the new filters on the vehicles, they accept that. There's
they don't care. They clean all this. They got a fuel pump. They'll suck all that crap right through there. It's fine.
Exactly.
me and old Mr. Gravity isn't going to let that happen. So
Yeah.
Johnny,
How are you?
Huh?
how's
that?
Johnny?
John says, "Hey."
Can you hear me?
Whoa! Look what came out of the
Hello.
fuel line.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
all water.
Hold it there. I'm slow on the uptake.
That's all water, no?
No, but that's what came out of the fuel line. All the dirt,
Just hang on. I'm getting there. Yeah,
Look at it. Half
dirt,
and half. Yeah.
dirt, sand, all that shit.
and water.
A lot of water.
Yeah. So
No,
I'm gonna get my beaker and drain it all out.
Now, does the fuel cap on that lawnmower you're working on, has it got one of those charcoal filters built into it on the top? Because if it's one of the new ones, we've got a bunch of them in here where the charcoal's leaking into the gas tank.
Could be
That's because it's
86886.
like overfilled.
Look up the number. Oh no, wait, is it upside down? 79889. Oh, I'm sorry, 799898.
Yes, John.
Wait a minute, hold on. Oh Jesus. 798.
Unfortunately.
898. 798 898.
Wayne, I would say that I know of some people who take off all that
Yeah, you take the
charcoal canister stuff.
you peel
I'm not
the
naming
inside off.
names.
Yeah, and dump it.
Yeah, but 798 898. Is that charcoal?
I don't know.
798
It'll be
898.
fairly high. You'll be if you can shake it, you'll hear it on the inside.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can dump it. Well, once you dump it, you can also dump it in the trash can. I'm not saying you should do that, but
No.
you
No,
just
it's
need
the
one.
E-
You just need to plug one line, and it's gone.
You'll have the EPA coming to your
Not-
house.
And I'm
Not
not
my
telling you
point.
how I know that, but you know.
No, it's not charcoal.
Okay. That's what's on there.
And then sometimes it's the inside of the fuel line breaking down.
That's what it was, I think, on this one, because you had all the black on the very end. Yeah, it looks like it's coming out good now, but I'm going to change the fuel line anyway.
I
Hey,
had that the
Bob.
other day on an old Tecumseh I was working on. It was completely collapsed, you know, on the inside.
I was listening a while ago. I heard you had an accident. You're muted.
I didn't mute you, Bob.
You're muted, Bob.
Broke my leg and my ankle, John. So I'm
Yeah, it was a
I'm 7
incident,
weeks out.
incident
So
with your wife. You said I caught part of it.
go skiing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
She didn't kick your butt or anything, huh?
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm. How long ago did that happen?
7 weeks.
Ugh.
I'm pretty good now. I'm just I got a little bit of a limp.
I imagine. That's why I'm glad we don't have snow around here. I'll be the
Would
first
you
one to
go
break
skiing,
everything.
John? John,
Pardon?
would you really go skiing?
Me? No,
Okay.
not hardly. I'm just looking forward to using the snowblower one day.
Yeah. The
Come on
best part
over.
about not having snow is not having snow blowers.
Yeah.
No,
I
John,
actually
you're not looking
saw
forward to
one
it.
about 2 months ago. I saw one at Lowe's. They had in the clearance section. It was a battery operated snowblower, and nobody touched it.
I saw one of those at Habitat Restore here, and everything they had in that engine line of stuff had the Home Depot price tags on them. So obviously, Home
Stella, who's in the
Depot
basement? Who's in the basement?
just said got rid of that stuff and donated it to those guys. So no, we're full, Kenny. I think
I heard a beep.
I don't see anybody in the basement. Wait a minute. This takes
Maybe
two
that
hands.
was a John Clem delayed beep.
Probably knowing me, always behind.
I know. I can't see anybody in the basement,
No,
but
okay,
that's
I just heard a
probably
beep.
on my end. As far as Octane is for better engine run, at least I've found. Yeah.
Nobody in the basement.
I can't see anybody down there, but again, that's
Well, Brock
might be.
says it's him. Hey, Mr. Bruce.
Bruce,
How many
Bruce,
people
how are you
are
doing
allowed
today?
up?
Well, if either one of them
6.
want to come up, I'll jump out.
Hey, Bruce.
I'll just stay in the chat.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to come out, you can boot me out too, Stella.
All right.
If you got Bruce or Brock want to shoot up, I got work to do in the shop.
Myself too. You can boot me out.
I gotta see. Like I said,
We
I can't.
boot the big dog.
You gotta kick someone from studio.
No, I understand, but I'll be able to see
Oh.
if there's somebody. Maybe I think it's a scrolling thing. I'm on a tiny computer right here.
I have a tiny computer too.
We're not going there.
I was talking about the computer. Thank you.
What's Scott Keller saying? He's got 500 gallons of gas in his basement, and it works.
Yeah,
What's he
we're not
nuts?
going there.
Light a match. Have a cigarette.
Yeah, light a match.
Mm.
Oh, there we go. Now I could scroll down. Brock,
Fire
you're in the
depart-
basement. Hey, man,
fire
I'm
department
trying
will
to
be-
figure out here.
Fire department will be visiting Scott shortly if they're watching this.
Yeah.
500 gallons. Oh my God.
It'll be like that explosion in China that they just had.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a
actually, what
lot
I'm
of
going to
dirt in
do,
this guy.
I'm gonna do this because we're just looking at a wall right now.
Well, it
Brock,
won't
how
be
you
long.
doing, man?
How are you?
Hey, Brock.
Well,
Won't be long in Canada before we start having major fuel line breakdowns, because next year they're going to 11% ethanol. And then I think by 2030, I think it's 2030, they want to go to 15. And all the fuel lines only rated for maximum 10.
Yeah.
So why 11? You think that seems very odd?
That's our net zero. Well, this was before Carney became prime minister, but he's Mr. Net Zero, eh?
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why the country wants to split up, because they want to cap oil and gas productions, and
Right.
Alberta wants to separate now, and then along with Alberta comes Saskatchewan, and then after that it'll be BC, and what you'll have is what are you going to call it? A Western alliance of 3 provinces that'll be separated by themselves. They're talking about having their own armed services.
They should have stuck with Pierre Poilievre. They should have.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Let's skip the politics. Let's not go there. Brock, what have you been working on, man?
Oh, I'm working on a chainsaw, a home light, Super XL.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're the worst.
Brock, not worth the time spent on a home light.
I know. It's for a friend, so I just told him I'd take a shot at it.
Take it with the pulling and put it in a garbage can, both of them.
With the
Or
pulling,
do what Bob says and get a battery operated one.
Yeah.
Well,
no
I did
doubt.
that for a friend, and I'm still looking at that chainsaw on the floor. When I told him after a year, I said, I still got that chainsaw. He goes, I figured you got rid of that by now. No, you owe me $45, you schmuck. So anyway,
That's why he ain't been around, huh?
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So this used to be a friend, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
No,
what I
he's
told
actually
him.
one of my scooter mates.
Oh.
He's like a club mate of mine. Oh my God.
That's what I told him. I said, listen, I said, don't let this come between us, because I like to hunt on your property. Yeah.
Yeah, I got an issue going on here with a power washer. It's a Honda engine. It's a GC 160, and the case was leaking oil. So I cracked the case, and I went through that. Cleaned up the silicone, resealed it with the right stuff. So I stopped the leak. I put the thing back together, and the governor is like running erratically, and I don't know why. I don't know if there's a way that I put it back together and it would screw up the governor, but I can't figure it out. It's like a mystery to me. So
Now you did pull out the idle jet, right? Or the idle jet, does it have a plastic one or a metal one? Because I find that's always a problem of surging, is just that idle circuit. That's what I find with GCB. Oh, yikes, that's me now.
Well,
sorry. Oops.
yeah, I put on a new there's a new carburetor on it. In fact, I even changed back to the old carburetor. So it's not a carburetor issue. And when I go to set the governor, I can turn that rod like, I don't know, not even a quarter turn. So, I think it's like still there. I mean, I didn't inspect the governor because I didn't think there was any problem with it. I didn't run the engine before I popped it open to fix the oil leak.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
I gotcha. So you don't know if there was a problem beforehand with it.
Yeah, but I talked to the guy. He said it ran normally. There was never, a high speed. It's like I can run it slow if I set the throttle really low, but once the throttle goes up like a third, it starts racing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should pop it back apart.
Sure, seated right.
I did order a new governor spring, so when
I
that
was gonna
gets
say
here,
spring,
if that
yeah.
doesn't correct it, then I'll probably pull it apart and inspect it. But I feel like I'm going to open it up and it's going to look fine.
Yeah, you know those springs. If you breathe on them wrong, they just act up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the case would go together if the governor lever or arm wasn't like set
Yeah.
right. If it was
think so.
flipped 180 degrees or something, I don't even know. I don't even think that's possible because there's like a pin on it,
No.
like a hairpin that keeps it from turning too far.
Yeah.
I've had them where the paddle wears out on the paddle
What's the paddle?
on the governor.
That's it. That
And-
sits on the
and
pin.
turn. Yeah, it
Yeah.
sits on the pin, but it wore out because I don't think the paddle was hardened enough or something.
Yeah.
So that metal lever is the paddle. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, this thing probably has low hours just because it's a pressure washer. It might be like 10 years old. It's a one owner type of thing.
Well, I know in some of those older ones, they say, hey, this thing's only got 150 hours of life in it, or some crazy amount because of the load that the pressure washer pump puts on those things. So
Yeah, the pumps usually go before the engines.
right.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't
Bob,
know.
I didn't hear exactly what you said because my compressor went off and I
Oh,
had to kill my mic. But did you say when you get it up to speed, it doesn't hunt like that anymore?
it's not hunting. It's running like there's no governor whatsoever. Like
Yeah, it's running
Oh.
away at
if I
high
set the
RPM.
throttle really low, it'll run at like let's say I'm gonna guess like 2,500 RPM, and it sounds good. And then I turn it up just a quarter inch with the throttle, and it'll go up to probably 6,000 RPM. So I just kill it.
Yikes! That's a
There's-
bunch.
So there's like no in between then. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like Hank's idea then.
Yeah, well, I'll try the spring. If that doesn't fix it, then I'll open it up and take a look. And if I try and hold the lever by hand, it does the same thing.
Yeah.
The lever on the outside. And I did set the governor right like several times.
So like when you pull the trigger, does it change the RPM or no?
It's not a trigger, it's a throttle because it's
Oh, hold on.
you mean the hose. If I spray it.
Okay, he muted himself. All right, that's good. All right.
I set the like I said, I can get it to run at like 2,500 RPM nicely. And then if I hook up the hose and squeeze the trigger on the wand, it'll rev too high when it actually it'll spray fine when I let go of the handle. When it goes to like idle, it goes up too high, the engine speed. So like if I spray the gun, it'll work fine. But then if I let go of the handle, it'll start revving.
Yeah, so it's trying to get to that high point where you set the pressure gauge on the
unloader valve.
Yeah,
it doesn't have one of those auto idle down cables.
No, it doesn't. I wish it did.
Yeah, the unloader valve is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might try and run the engine without the
Take care,
pump
bro.
on it and see if it runs right without the pump. Who knows?
Yeah, but you would think if it's running away with the pump running, it's still going to do it when it's not running.
Right.
Yeah, that's why it's a mystery.
So.
Yeah, and that paddle, that governor arm, it shouldn't rotate much. Like you know, if you're grabbing the flats on it, you're trying to rotate it. You're right. I think they only move about a quarter inch.
About a quarter of a turn because they run into the sidewall. Yeah.
Well, I was looking at a video online, and mine looks like it's moving more. Like it should go about an eighth of a turn at most. Mine, I could turn a quarter turn.
No good.
So something's not right.
Yeah, eighth of a turn clockwise. Boink.
Yeah, and why are some engines like the Kawasaki's are counterclockwise, right? Some of them.
Because it's
Yeah.
on the opposite side of the engine.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Kohlers are clockwise, the Briggs are clockwise, the Hondas are clockwise, the Kawasaki's are counterclockwise. Maybe. I don't know if it's all of them.
So when you took it apart, Bob, the governor with the weights on it, that was down in the bottom of the sump, right?
Nothing was broken, and I didn't really inspect it because I was just fixing an oil leak and slapping it back together.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, damn, I should have looked at it a little closer when I had it apart.
Yeah, because I got a G. What do I got? I got a HRX. I forget. It's a Honda, one of the newer Hondas that's got an oil leak from the sump right by one bolt. So they must not have. I've got to call the Honda dealer and see if they were ever recalled for that, for oil leakage, because I'd rather have Honda do it on a recall versus me tearing it apart.
Yeah.
But just bad Honda bonds when they put it on. They must not have put it on right there, and the guy hardly used the thing, so he didn't want it. I bought it for $250. The thing's a $1,500 lawnmower.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I got this one just for pressure washing equipment. I had one that had like a clone engine on it, and I replaced the carburetor a couple times, and the problem is the gas will end up leaking into the crankcase just because it's like a cheap engine. So I just want something more reliable. So I got this one, but I can't get it running right.
Well, Jake bought the Generac online about 7 years ago, and it's been great. We haven't done anything to it. Other than the recoil went, and I remember checking with Generac. They wanted $80 plus shipping for the recoil. Jake has a contract with Canada Power Tech in Ontario, and they carry Generac parts, $11.
Really?
$11, and it's the only thing that's missing is the sticker. So we took the sticker off the old one, stuck it on a new one. Been great for $11. Can't beat it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. The other thing is I leave mine outside. It's like the only thing I do leave outside because I'm using it like every day.
But you can at least put it like under a tarp or something, right?
I could, but I don't.
Mine's just outside too.
Yeah, I know. I
Beats
resemble
dragging
that
all that
remark.
crap out every time.
Wait,
Yeah,
the Hondas are sealed up pretty good. I mean, you shouldn't really get water in the tank or in the air filter.
Yeah. I was gonna do a little push mowing yesterday, and I got my old yard machines, Briggs Quantum push mower out, and it wouldn't crank. So I got to work on the carburetor, which I knew why it was not cranking. So I was gonna blow it off with air, and blew my automatic choke spring to oblivion. I don't know where it went. And I was going to order some the other day. I said, nah, I'll wait. I put them in the car, and I said, I'll wait to order some. And guess what?
Yeah, that's that little
cannot
tiny
find it.
spring that hooks to the auto vane. That little tiny
Oh
one.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're finicky. Like I've taken engines apart where I've held it to take it off the hook on the auto vane, and it slipped out of my fingers and shot into the engine someplace. And now I got to take the cover off, and most of the times it's stuck to the magnet, eh?
Yeah, well, I actually saw it fly up, but where it went from there, I have no idea.
Yeah, you'll never find that thing.
Yeah, but I did have some springs, and I kind of finagled one on there. It might not work perfect, but until I can get the correct one. It did work yesterday.
Yikes.
What's Ken working on now?
Well,
I think he's still working on that same thing. I think it's kind of hard to
no,
tell.
I put an
carburetor.
inline. I put a disc filter in line, just so not a lot of space on a Quantum to do that, but I did it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So now I just got to put the air cleaner back on, put a fuel in it, try it out. But this thing is so filthy. You know, look at the back of the air cleaner. I mean, it's freaking disgusting.
I heard you talking about an air filter a while ago. How bad was it?
Oh my God, John. He put it this way. You know, he
Heavy.
has a dog or a cat or something.
Was from Roman times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
I had a steel blower I was looking at yesterday that somebody gave to me that was junk. So I'll pull it apart and get it going. It had cat or dog hair all in it, everywhere, around the carburetor, everything. It had an oil leak, so it had plenty of buildup for it to stick to. And finally I said, screw it, and put it back in the scrap pile.
We had one come in the other day where the guy said it'll only run on low speed. He brought it in, took the cover off. Mice had eaten the air vane off of the the end of the air vane. They chewed it right off.
Yeah, Lee.
Oh. Well, that's like on my truck. They chewed the plastic cap on that feeds the gas either in or out. I don't know, but it's made out of soybean or something.
Yeah, you're right, Hank. The girl across the road, her SUV just cost them $4,000 to rewire her car because squirrels got in there and were eating all of that wiring in her new vehicle.
What's
It's
made
some
out of
kind
soybeans?
food grade wiring.
Yeah,
The insulation or something.
Yeah,
People wonder why I don't like squirrels.
$4,000. And the lady on the corner, she feeds the squirrel. Like, we got a million squirrels over here because the lady on the corner puts peanuts out for them. So they're digging up our lawns, burying peanuts. There's like, the squirrels know that this is the spot to live, eh?
Yeah. Son John over there, he loves squirrels.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Love them. Little bastards. Honda makes a hot pepper tape.
Yeah, the hot pepper tape. They don't like that.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, to wrap your harnesses in.
Yeah, they probably don't have it down here where I live at.
No, any dealer should have it. Any Honda dealer. Car dealer.
Yeah, well, those food grade wires, they should just have the pepper in it.
Yeah.
They should.
Everybody hush now. Shh.
What?
It got kind of quiet.
Listen to Ken breathe.
Yeah.
Where I sound like an Irish setter?
No, not that bad.
Do all those other tractors work, Ken?
The John Deere needs. It runs good. It wasn't running before. The problem was the guy brought it to a dealer, got charged $300. They put in a new coil and condenser, but they put the condenser on the positive terminal instead of negative terminal, so it wouldn't rev up, and they thought the engine was blown. So I took it, I changed the condenser to the negative terminal, and it ran fine. But it's got an old Walbro carburetor with a wicked air leak because of the throttle shaft. So I bought a Chinesium 26 Carter N, and I'm going to throw that on. And they fucked up the, what is it? The Veradrive. It has no Veradrive. I gotta get that going too.
Everybody hide. Mix here.
Yeah, I'm getting away from the older stuff. I try not to work on anything before 2000.
Yeah, this one's 1987.
Yep.
Sweet.
Mick and Pete showed up same time. What's up with that?
Surprised it has points and condenser being it to 87. Must be.
Yeah, they did that until 88 on the Kohler K series till 88. Then the Magnums came out.
Who's the young guy in the middle? That's Bobby.
Bob, I picked up a 1963 Honda Eclipse. Thing runs like a clock. It's a self-propelled mower with an aluminum deck. It was stored in a barn for 9 years. And put fresh gas into it. It already had clean oil, and it had a brand new filter in it from when it was put away. Fired up first pull, and it's got the crankshaft coming out the side that runs the drive belt.
Yeah, I never heard of a Honda Eclipse. It sounds
No,
like a
Han,
car.
Han, H-A-H-N.
Oh, Han.
Han Eclipse.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 and I think it was a 3.75.
What year is that thing?
1963.
The year I was born. Cool.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful cut machine. Like the thing, I used it a couple times, but it's weird. It's got a handle grip that you pull in to engage, and then it's a button, the button on the top to engage it, and the handle to disengage the drive. So it's just like an idler pulley that either locks on or off to tighten up the belt.
Yeah. Yeah, simple but effective.
Yeah, and all the linkage for the drive is a solid bar, and then the bar has like a multitudes of holes, so you can keep adjusting it to wherever you need it. Yeah, really simple design.
Mick, Bob had an accident. He's been laid up for a little while.
Mick, what happened?
No, he's asking about you.
Oh, yeah, it broke my leg. I'm doing all right now. I'm recovering at this point.
He was skiing, Mick. He was skiing.
Trying to ski.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were you
God,
on
I was
Not as
14.
easy as it was 25 years ago.
do what?
Come on, Mick.
Skiing, not as easy as it was 25 years ago.
Yeah. Now, were you on like the pro trail or like the kindergarten trail?
Well, actually, I
Say
was
the pro
on
trail.
I was at Gore Mountain, and the trail was called Rumor.
Break a leg trail.
It's a double black diamond. So we're standing up top. We took some pictures before it went down, and it snowed the night before, like 3 inches, and the snow fell on the slope, and I guess there was like frozen snow or ice on the slope. So the snow kind of slid down about 3/4 or 1/3 of the way. And I started skiing down, and then I hit this pile of snow, and it knocked me off balance. My one ski didn't come loose. And
Any
it
pictures?
is
Any video?
according to the guy in the little hut, after they brought me down on a snowmobile with like 4 people and made a big showing, and my friends took pictures for me and all that. They told me that was the steepest face in New York State, and they ended up closing it because people kept falling. They were calling it a wall of snow, so it was kind of like, sort of like an iffy thing. But I didn't have my ski adjusted right on my one leg. I was having a problem with it popping off. When I was just regularly skiing, the ski would fall off. Turned out I probably had snow on the bottom of my boot, and that's why it was popping off.
Yeah.
So
You guys
tighten it a little bit, but it was tightened a little bit too much. So that's what happened.
All right. You guys ready?
We've been ready since it tried to start it last time, Ken.
All right,
Yeah.
Stella, take care of Bob. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another
Perfect.
$100, Kenny.
Yeah, close. Yeah.
You got the bag for that?
I told him I didn't need it.
Mick.
Oh,
I
it's for
hate when they bring. I hate when they bring the bags. Yeah, and it just takes up space. But here's the thing: the oil needs to be changed. So I'm gonna do that. Let me see what the blade looks like.
That's
Knowing
Hank's
this guy,
buddy,
there's probably no blade left.
The teeth
Oh,
don't
you know what he
come out.
did? He put in an E3 spark plug.
Right on, Hank. We still got our teeth, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what's
No,
important.
Blade's pretty sharp. E3 spark plug. All right.
E3.
No hair.
They're as
E3.
bad as torches.
Yeah, over here they sell those things for like, I think E3s are like $15 a piece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy snake oil.
Hmm.
All right, so that runs good. I'm gonna change the oil. Screw it. Let me warm it up for a second. You want to mute me? I'm gonna warm this up. Or does my earphone mute it?
Your Bluetooth thing mutes it pretty well. If it becomes obnoxious, I can mute you.
Let's see.
Well, guys, I'm going to take off.
Okay,
All
Bob.
right,
Get the
Bob.
feeling better, Bob. Hope
Take
you
it
everything,
easy.
Bob.
everything goes well.
Good chatting.
Good to
Same
see
here,
you, man.
Yeah, good
Nice
seeing you,
seeing you
Bob.
again.
No more
Thanks,
skiing
Bob.
for a little while.
Yeah, no more
No.
skiing.
Take care.
Later.
Yeah.
All right. So, put the clip on there.
No way, Pete. No way am I going on the lake with that guy.
Oh, guys, I gotta go. I got a customer.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Money.
You can boot me out if you want, Stella.
Well, there's nobody else in the basement if you want to come back.
Bye, Wayne.
he'll be back.
Where's Mick? Have Mick come up.
Oh, Lord, please not.
Mickey.
No, I want to find out about Riley.
Yeah. Come on up, Mick.
We're all
Yeah.
concerned about Riley.
Yeah, Mick, come on up.
Come on up. I got something for you.
Yeah. Make you an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah.
She working on Stella.
Oh, just doing a little pressure testing on some stuff.
That carb I was talking to you about yesterday on that little motorized
Whizzer?
bicycle thing. Yeah, whatever it's called. Oh, come
Mick.
on up, Mick. Oh, the picture didn't really show you, but the carb was about that big.
Yeah, they're teeny tiny little carbs.
Yeah.
And that thing's probably like, I don't know, probably like a 25 cc or something. They're not that big at all.
22 cc.
22. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the one I was working on yesterday was. They may have bigger ones. I don't know.
Now, was it a Whizzer brand?
No idea. He just brought the carb and the throttle to me.
Interesting.
I don't even know what kind of motor it was on, what brand.
Well, typically those ones that, go on, on a bicycle wheel that hook onto like the rear fender or whatnot. Whizzer is the most common name for those. So.
Well, he had tried to fix it himself, and he gouged the brass main jet all up. It was chewed up. The slide, he had bent the slide he didn't line it up with the slot.
Yeah.
And created a burr on it that wouldn't allow it. I had to force it out of the tube.
But you were able to get it back enough in shape so it works for him? That's good.
Yeah, I buffed it down enough, that burr down enough to where I could get it slide in and out. And got the brass jet straightened out where you can at least get it in and out. And no.
Does it have a needle in it? Does it have a needle stuck into the slide? Yeah.
He rode by the house yesterday, but I couldn't tell if it was running or not. I don't know if he was pedaling it or coasting when he went by or what. I didn't hear the motor.
You would have heard it. They're like really loud and obnoxious. Like, wee!
And I sent him a text a little while or about an hour ago. I hadn't heard back yet. Asked him if it actually worked or not. But also, if it didn't work, I gave him the link to a new one off Amazon.
Yeah, I've never heard of that brand before.
Me either. What was it? Bofing? B-O?
Yeah, whatever that is. Never heard of it. Yep.
Chinesium stuff.
Yep.
What are you making butter over there?
Yeah, Kitty's making butter, man.
Hey, 3 pumps should be bad. Oh, successful.
It was a little full. Where's Bend It Man? Whew.
Yeah. No, we're not going there.
Wayne, your phone's ringing.
That's. Oh, someone call that number.
Yeah. Wayne's unavailable right now. He'll call back in 30 minutes.
Call from 2896.
Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I missed that, Wayne. I hope it's not a big deal.
What's a
Okay,
quantum take? 16 ounces, roughly. 20 ounces.
To wherever it says on the
Don't
dipstick.
remember.
What is it? A Briggs?
Quantum. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
that's a Honda
16
Quantum.
It's a half a quart.
Yeah.
Whatever. Start with half a quart. I'm gonna mute Wayne so we're not listening to somebody's phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
know
back
we
in a few
heard part of
minutes.
All right. 13, 14.
Where you going, John?
To check a tree out back.
Uh-huh.
Family.
Should I take you with me?
And
Hey.
you mean the
Goodbye. Be back shortly.
Bye. 17. 17, yes. May 17th. Right. Kenny,
Yo,
what are you working on, man?
I'm just seeing how the oil level is, and then I gotta text him and tell him to come get the damn thing.
How is it?
Perfect.
So you don't screw that one in?
Well, this is the one with the quarter turn, so you don't have to screw it in. Same thing if you turn it, don't turn it.
Oh, I thought you always had to screw those in.
No. This is quarter turn.
Yeah.
Quarter turn. Doesn't matter if you screw it or not. Still bottom out at the same spot.
Bayonet
You know what I'm saying?
fit.
It doesn't go any deeper when you turn it.
Yeah. It's a bayonet fit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't-
yeah.
If you go like that, you just gotta line up the two dots. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Oh, yeah. You got to push down the two dots. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right to the dot. I'll go just a hair more.
Yeah, I think that's the only problem when you don't line it up with the dots, which I
Yeah,
don't ever
then
pay
it'll be
attention
too
to.
high.
Yeah.
All right, let's see one last time. He's got electric start on this, but it's all screwed up. The start switch is all busted.
Just shove a screwdriver in there.
No, I'm saying I don't even know if there's a battery anywhere. No, I'm pushing the switch. I don't even think he has a battery. If so, it's probably dead.
Probably.
All right, ready? Here we go.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
Yep.
$80. Come get it. Anyway.
Another job well done.
Yeah.
Another job done.
Let me text him. Hold on.
Come get your damn mower.
Yeah.
Come on, get it.
Bring money.
That's right. Bring money.
Let's see. All right. So this one out here, he said maybe tomorrow he'll grab that. So I'll put that in the backyard. The other guy. I love this. A call from 657. Where's 657 here?
I don't know. Probably up where you are.
It says able to spare a moment for a chat. So that could either be a customer or a potential customer or whatever. Yeah, no thanks. Here, someone dial or see if it's spam. Hold on.
Yeah, right.
657.
Kenny, stop
No.
doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Don't say numbers
What?
like out loud like that.
Why? It's
That might
spam.
be somebody's legit number.
Hey, I'm on live. They texted me. Anyway, let me text this other guy. Okay.
Did the lawnmower detective ever find out what the problem was?
Didn't see anything.
Yeah, he didn't.
What was the problem? I didn't get a notification on anything. What did he do?
That what do you call it? The valves weren't opening up on both sides
Oh,
of the motor. So we're thinking that camshaft either. I said it could be the Woodruff key fell off the gear for the timing gear, or it blew apart. Something went wrong where either or the valves aren't working.
So Ray says Orange County, California is the 657 area code.
I don't know anybody in Orange County.
Well,
sounds spammy to me.
Fuel that was bought last year.
Say it again because you were half muted.
I was who, me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, another customer that's got fresh fuel in their lawnmower, but the fuel was bought last year.
Yeah. That's fresh.
It's fresh out of the 2-year-old can.
And fires up and then sputters and dies off.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so this is a carb clean and full service. I always talk them into a full service. Always an upsell here. And I even sold them a thing of our stabilizer.
There you go.
Well, I just give people a range here. Knowing what you've told me, most people in this situation, it's like, $75, $85 or something, and they're usually okay with that.
What's the exchange rate? So let's say 85.
Yeah.
Times 1 point. What is the exchange rate now?
I think it's 1.25 or something.
No, it's more than that.
1.4? No, it can't be that bad.
It was. Let's go 1.3. So that's 110, and I just told her 150.
Yeah. Well, you got room to spare.
Plus the stabilizer 15, that's 165.
Nice.
Well, I give them that price based on, like a $10 air filter, a $5 spark plug, and a $5 oil change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. It depends what her air filter is. I think on that one, it's just a foam one. It's likely $5. Spark plug is going to be $5. Blade sharpening oil is likely 20 milliliters or 20 ounces.
Right.
And then cleaning the carb. Normally we charge 45 minutes to take it off, put it back on for the easy ones. There are some carbs that you got to tear everything apart to get it apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially on the twins.
Yeah. Well, there's a good one. Jake was doing the neighbor's 22 horse Tecumseh.
Tecumseh?
Yeah, it was a Tecumseh, 22 horse. We sold this lawnmower to him, I think it was 5 years ago. It's been running like a clock. This is the guy that got the 3 jerry cans of old fuel. Anyways, Jake got it, oil changed, everything. He's checking the plugs, and one plug is like shows that it's been running a lot. The other plug's like not looking like it fired. He says, I think this thing's running on one cylinder. So he fired it up, but you couldn't really tell, And he checked the temperature of the muffler and the one side. Sure enough, it's like 65, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The other side's 180. So that's it. One side not firing. He pulls the cover off. It's got 2 separate Tecumseh carburetors on it.
Are they synced?
Fuel pump fed. Remember the lawnmowers that Tecumseh made, and they had the plastic bowl with the wire clip, the metal clip that went.
The square one. Yeah, that's square one.
Yeah.
This 22 horse actually has 2 separate carburetors with a fuel pump that tees off the line and feeds each carb.
Yeah, those are the vector.
He says, unbelievable, cheap wave, smart to make a machine. You just take the one carb that's not firing. Sure enough, it had a plugged jet. It wasn't letting fuel get in. He cleaned that car, put it on, runs like a clock.
1.38 there, Wayne, for exchange rate.
1.38, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah.
Yeah, and not talking politics, the way things are going here, it'll be 1.5 pretty soon.
Yeah. Yep. Gonna build up the army.
Flex comes Flex 4. I can't. Hey, Wayne or John, will you guys post the link? I don't have the YouTube chat up. I can't do that.
Yeah, I'll get it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Remember how to do it.
Oh, Tecumseh Vector. I was like, Tex comes Vex 4. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it could be.
huh?
Like it's an old machine, and this guy drives this thing all over the place. Like he cuts lawns for a bunch of people that are like, he was actually driving it like a mile. I think it was at least a mile away with a trailer, hauling stuff, all his 2-stroke trimmers and everything, and plus a push mower and the right. Like he put a lot of hours on this machine.
Oh, you know what I didn't try yet? The self-propel.
Kenny, by the way, we have no video from you.
Oh shit! Where the hell's my phone?
I don't know. We keep getting like the spinny circle every now and then from you.
Just got
And
chewed
then
up
we
by a
hear you.
lawnmower blade. There goes the cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably in his pocket.
I don't know, but I get the little spinny thing. There you go.
There he is.
We're back. No, because I was texting the guy and then I put my phone on the wall. Let's see. Yeah, self-propel works, so that's good.
Good.
He'll be there. What time is he? He said 1:30, 2 o'clock. What time is it now? Almost
137.
12:30.
Now try to buy a lawnmower that's made with the quality that lawnmower's got. You're not going to find one today.
Nope.
Yeah, this one, I'm trying to think if this is MTD. What's the number? Nope, Husqvarna, 917, Husqvarna.
Where'd you get 137, Stella?
She's on the other time.
No, I'm saying we've been on for an hour and 37 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's
Sorry.
looking at the timer. Yeah.
12:37 now. I mean,
yes. Oh, how? Yeah, duh. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. We started at 11. Whoops.
11:40 at my house.
All right.
You're just in a different time zone, John.
Yeah.
Literally.
Time is your way, Wayne.
What time? It's
same as me. 12:37.
Yeah, 12:39
Oh, that's right.
p.m.
Yeah, I was thinking
according
you're on
to
the west side of
computer.
Canada.
Brucey, hey, where's Brucey?
He says it's 6 a.m. there.
Good
Yeah,
gosh.
6 a.m.
Brucey's 2 hours behind us.
Doing Brett.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Hanging
Pretty
in
good.
there.
Alrighty.
Man, I'll tell you what, this past week was a very interesting week to say the least. Tuesday evening, we had a major storm roll through here, and we're talking winds, we're talking heavy rain, we're talking big time thunder and lightning, we're talking trees down, we're talking power outages, and for the next 3 days, we're
Chainsaw
talking
repairs.
a major run on Genesets.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, I can imagine.
And I seen a brand that I had never heard of before. Condon would probably know about this brand. I think it's a Generac clone, UST.
Never
Yeah,
heard of it.
maybe he's watching.
It's a Chinesium Honda clone on it. And the thing had sat for years, so the carburetor was beyond salvation. But it took the same carburetor as some of the Generacs. You know, it had the anti-after-fire solenoid on it.
One of these guys.
Yeah.
Let me see what you got, Stel.
Yeah.
It's one of these guys. This is a Chonda GX390 carburetor.
13 horse.
Yeah,
Well, this was a 5,500 watt running. I think it was 68 something, max. So I'm guessing if they proportioned it to the size of the generator, it'd probably be about 13 horse.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, no, this one had a cracked float in it. The float was full of fuel.
Ooh,
And you
that's
could tell.
unusual.
Not well. It's just poor quality. You could tell the casting. It was like, and it was almost like a casting mark, and it got thin because you could follow it right along.
I'm assuming that carburetor in your hand, the whole thing is cast, even the bowl, right?
Yeah, the bowl is cast. But it is a Chonda. Because the guy bought it off of Amazon. He had already replaced the carburetor, and I said, "Do you have the original one?" He goes, "I might. I don't know." So he had already put some clone on there.
We just had a guy come into the shop the other day. His brother referred him to us. He said, "I was just at the dealership and they told me that I need a new carb." And I said, "For what?" He said, "It's a Craftsman riding mower." I said, "How old is it?" He said, 5 years old. I said, "You likely don't need a new carb. Why'd they say you need a new carb?" I said, "Did you take the carb there?" He says, "No, I can't figure out how to get the linkage off. But I took the ball gasket and I showed them the ball gasket because I'm leaking fuel. And they said, no, it's not the ball gasket. You need a new carb." So he says, they're ordering me a new carb. It's $100 and some odd. So I said, "Listen, where do you live?" He lived, I don't know, maybe 6-7 blocks from here. I said, "When I finish up today, I'll shoot over and I'll tell you how to take it apart." So I go to his place, and like to take the linkage off, he had to pull the studs off, but he didn't know how to double nut the stud to.
Okay.
So I showed him that. He said, "Oh my God, that's so simple." "Okay, thank you very much." I said, "Give me the carb. I'll take it back home and I'll test it and I'll give it an ultrasonic cleaning. You likely got a leaky needle valve." So I take the pressure tester. As soon as I get it home, I turn it upside down and I pressure test it, and the thing pressure tests great. Beautiful. It's another issue. But as I got it upside down, I take a look at it, and the guy's got the bowl off center. It's not located right on the gasket. So I just loosen the bowl, the nut, move it over to center it up, tighten it down. Then I do a bench test. I engage the fuel shutoff to let the fuel go in, and I let it sit for like a half hour. It's not leaking. So I tell the guy everything's good, right? The guy comes to the house the next morning to pick it up, and I just want to show him that it's going to pressure test. Guess what? It's not pressure testing now. So I take it apart. There's 2 pieces of grass inside the carburetor, and one of them was inside the needle valve.
Oof.
So when I did it the day before, and then there was a little tiny piece of rubber in there too, like, I don't know, from the fuel line or something when he pulled, I don't know when it happened, but I didn't even clean it. I just took it apart, give it a little spray, put it back together, pressure tested it, gave it to the guy, and I was glad the guy came back later that afternoon and gave me the thumbs up. He said, "Everything's working great. Thanks for your help." And I said, "Were you able to cancel the carburetor?" He said, "Yes, they canceled the order."
Well, that saved him $100 and some anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, he would have had to take it there to get the carburetor off because he didn't know what to do, eh? So
about taking out the studs.
Yeah. So he was thankful. He was happier than whatever. He was happy.
What kind of motor was on that anyway? Was it a name brand motor or was it a Klein?
No, it was a Briggs.
It was a Briggs?
Yeah.
Was it one of those Nike carburetors or was it a...
No, like a Walbro, and it had the fuel shut off in the bottom, the solenoid in the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had 2 Briggs ones come in this week, generators. And I think one was actually Briggs & Stratton branded. And it was one of those Nike carburetors. It was so bad we couldn't even get it apart.
Hmm.
I mean, it was literally
Sneaky.
ruined.
Go in the trash.
That bad?
That bad. Couldn't even get the bowl off.
Because
And
that's just those two screws that you got to undo, and then you tap it. Normally, they just come right apart.
Hey, I
well,
got Brucey in the basement,
this one
guys.
was horrible, and we got him another carb. It was actually a Briggs and Stratton branded generator. So I'm assuming it was actually Briggs that made it.
Brucey's in the basement, guys. Or he was.
Hey, put me down. I'm gonna go eat some lunch.
No, you can leave John up.
I'll be no. I need to get off. Y'all.
You need to get off.
Bye, John.
Oh.
Bye, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, those Nicky carbs are the worst ones for leaking fuel.
I've
Hey,
never.
Bruce.
Hello.
Hey, Brucey.
Bruce.
I've never been successful at all in actually getting one of those right when I've tried to rebuild them.
There's two different type of gaskets. The one's got the separate O-ring that goes around the fuel, and the other one is all built into one. You just got to be careful when you're putting them together. I use silicone spray and just line it up properly and get it seated, and make sure you don't pinch that gasket because it'll leak fuel into the crankcase.
Now, when you assemble them, do you assemble the gasket on the plastic part, or do you assemble it on the carburetor casting?
No, I put it on the plastic part so I could see the outline to make sure it's all lined up. Then I turn it upside down so that it doesn't move out of place, and then put the top piece down on it. Now, some of them got a spring that goes, some of them have a spring.
Yeah, on the back.
Yeah, that goes on the bottom that holds that in there.
Don't have the spring.
Yep.
Yeah, doesn't that spring go between the bowl and that plastic piece?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
See, for me, I guess maybe because of my eyesight, it's hard for me to see that outline to get that.
Yeah.
Well, you can feel it's raised pretty good, you know.
Yeah, but just over the years, I don't have much feeling in my fingers as I used to, having done this for 30-some years, you know.
And you got to make sure that the gaskets you've got are in a, like when we store them, they're in the packages standing upright where they maintain their shape. They don't get folded over. Because once you start bending those things, now try to get them to straighten out.
Well, you got to put that separate gasket on the plastic first.
Yeah, that's right.
And make sure it's round. Not flat. If it does pop in to a recess.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be careful with that.
Anybody know where I could come up with a head gasket for a Yard Max mower, 201cc?
Archie.
No, what is it? Is it like a power more engine or something like that?
It's some kind of a Chonda, but the brand name on it is Yard Max. I can't remember the model number, but I know the engine is a 200cc.
Yard Works.
No, Yard
Max.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
It's like the Power Smarts, Bruce. It's like the Power Smarts.
Yeah. Power More, Power Smart. No, Power Smart, yeah.
Yeah, I like Power More. Power Smart.
Power More has crawled to the top of appreciation compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, the Power Mores are good engines. I got nothing against them.
And they're strong but loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are loud. I've noticed that with those Power Smarts. They're kind of like the old Tecumsehs. Remember the old Tecumsehs that had the real small little muffler?
Yep.
That's what they remind me of. They have a real sharp exhaust sound to them.
That's why I have to wear these when I mow my grass.
Why? Because you got
Yep.
Oh, you got a Tecumseh?
Either one, 3.5.
They used a hot dog muffler on those.
I even remember some of them Tecumsehs where the exhaust port was actually on the bottom of the cylinder. It actually went down into the deck.
Yeah. Well, the old two-stroke. What are they called?
Well, I've seen it on the 4-stroke. I've seen it on Toro, and I've seen it on some of the Craftsmans. The little round muffler actually bolted there was a hole in the deck and it actually bolted that way. It just, instead of coming out right below where the intake elbow was, it was like 90 degrees from it. It went down into the deck.
Burned a hole right through it. I got one like that.
Yeah. Well, the lawn boys all did that too, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the old two-stroke OMC lawn boys did that.
And you know, with all the fires we're having now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Can you say woof?
Oops.
Yeah, oops, woof, followed by the wail of sirens. No, thank you. Yeah, I tried to look up this head gasket, and I can literally find nothing on this.
Well,
And the only thing I could find was maybe assemblies for the engine. They couldn't even get you a gasket kit. You had to buy like assemblies, like some of the. Remember the original Chinese engine that Cub Cadet used? You couldn't buy individual pieces. You had to buy assemblies. It's kind of what this was.
Can't you just buy a whole new engine?
well, what I would do if you know if you can't fix it, it's toast. Just take the old head gasket off and hold it up to a Chonda pitcher.
Yeah.
I've done that.
I thought about doing that too, or I thought of just seeing how this is set up and maybe just seeing if I could repower it with a Briggs or something.
Oh, the engine, yeah, replace it.
Yeah, because it is a self-propelled.
Mm-hmm.
And if the deck is in good shape and the wheels are in good shape, yeah, just toss another
But
engine on
that's
there.
so easy to say, right? I've got 3 empty decks out there that I'm waiting for engines to come in, and they're not the standard length. Like, they're not the mini ones like the old classics.
Yeah.
They're not that long. They're about 2 3/4. And I got 3 decks up there that are abandoned because the engines were gone.
Huh.
We don't get rusty decks out here.
So what? You need the short shafts?
Yeah, but not as short as the like the 2-inch ones. Like,
because if you get a Power Smart, they got a short shaft on them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the Pulsars do too.
I had 4 of them from 4 of those engines from ones that the front plastic parts broken off of the deck, and they don't want to spend.
Oh, those crazy Power Smarts.
The $80, 80 I think it was 80 US for that part, plus shipping, plus duty, and then plus exchange.
And then you wouldn't get $100 for the mower.
No, I think the mowers were selling over here for $259 Canadian.
Yeah, but a new one, a used one would sell for $100, which is you just spent $120 without anything else. I mean,
what about that one Power Smart mower? I've seen one, and Terrell did a video on one. Somehow, some way, it used a horizontal shaft engine, and it drove some kind of a thing that converted it to run a blade under the deck.
Oh, with the bevel gear drive coming out.
Yeah, it had a little gearbox on the end of the motor.
Right on the side of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That didn't last long, that design.
Too many parts.
No. It had, and I think once it got under the deck, I think there was a belt system under there too.
You know, my old stalwart rototiller does that. But it must have been built in the day because it's got the original belt, the little 1/4-inch belt, and it still turns the tines. Pretty crazy.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I know.
I actually
don't
had
change the
something
oil in it every year. I don't change the oil in it every year because I only put about 3 hours on it in the spring and 2 hours on it in the fall.
Every 2 years is great. That's what I tell people.
Me too.
I had a mower in for a fuel system and tune-up yesterday. I think that Bruce would be happy with. It was kind of like the overhead valve version of a Quantum. Would that have been an Intech?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Those are good engines.
Yeah, it had the metal carburetor.
Did it have the air cleaner shaped like a teardrop orange?
No, this one actually used a panel type.
Oh. Quantum air filter?
Yeah, it used the same, the blue and white panel filter. And I've seen a version of it that had the air cleaner on the top that looked like an oval. It had the one, you had 2 screws that held the cover down, and then there was a little oval looking canister underneath of that was your filter. But this one actually used the standard panel filter. And the carburetor mounted very low on the block. It wasn't up high. And instead of having an O-ring behind the carburetor, there was an actual gasket where it bolted to the and the muffler system on this. You had to take the shroud off to get the muffler off if you wanted to, because it had that pipe that bolted to the top of the block, and it came across and went down, and that was your muffler. And there was like a little extra hump in the recoil housing that accommodated for that pipe. Heavy motor. This was a 6-horse. It was on a Yardman 6-horse primer type. It wasn't ready start. Guy just had water in it. I did a full tune-up on that and got that thing going. Hit that primer about 3 or 4 times, 2 pulls. It took off and ran good. Good, solid motor. Far cry from what you see today.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been 2 hours. I'm heading out.
All right. Yeah, I better hit it.
Henry,
See you, Hank.
Henry, it's been a slice as usual.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy your.
Good to see everybody.
Okay,
Yeah,
Stella.
absolutely.
Bruce.
Any
All right.
That was nice.
Kenny,
of you
Alright.
guys get any big storms this week?
it's been
I'm-
raining here all week.
It's raining here right now.
We haven't had a drop of rain for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's raining steady, and it's supposed to rain for the rest of the next week too.
Yep.
Well, that's where I'm jealous because it's either one or the other, though, isn't it?
Well, I lucked
we
out
got a
the
lot of
day
rain
that
over here, Bruce.
Oh, we don't get any here.
the day that big storm hit. I left the shop probably about 4:45, and I live about a block and a half away. So, I walk to and from every day, and the sky was pretty black. The wind was really picking up, and it was spitting rain. And I kind of hightailed it back to my house, and about a minute after I got in the door, all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like my house was going through the automatic car wash. And my power flicked on and off, blinked a few times, but then my brother, who lives probably about 7 or 8 miles away from me in Wintersville, they lost power out there. His power was out for almost 30 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a
we
lot
sure
of
take it for granted, don't we?
Yeah.
Yep. And that's when we get this run on generators. I mean, these people, you can't fault them. I mean, they don't know any better. Generators, for the most part, sit.
Oh, I totally understand, and I haven't started mine for 2.5 years.
I could go out there and start mine right now for the simple fact mine is completely empty, including the carb.
Bruce, time for a video on that generator.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't start
it's an
after
8-horse.
sitting for 2.5 years.
It's an 8-horse Briggs, and it's getting hard for me to start. So I thought a good video would be for me putting a DC starter on it.
Ooh.
Is that one of the old flathead 8-horse Briggs?
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah,
Briggs?
it takes 2 men and a boy to start it.
Yeah, we had a 10-horse here, and it was a bugger to start.
It is. I prime it every time. I don't fool around. I just squirt a little bit of chainsaw gas in there and yank.
Lick it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, everybody, I'm out of here. I got to get back to work.
See you, Wayne. Have a
See
good
you,
one.
Wayne.
Okay, Wayne.
Take care.
Kenny, you got to end this. I can't, and I got to go in 30 seconds.
No worries. All right, I'm gonna end it. Everybody, where the hell's my
Yeah.
phone?
It was
Where's
nice
my
to see you guys.
phone?
See
I
y'all.
was sitting here having my morning coffee when I first logged on, so that's why I never
That's
saw
all
it.
right. You
Yeah.
have,
If I
have
can
another
find
cup.
if I can find my phone, I'll end it. Where the hell's my phone?
I don't know.
Yeah, hope it's not underneath that mower.
No.
Yeah,
There we
don't
go. All right,
start
guys.
the.
All right, now I'm back. All right, we'll see you guys later. See ya.
See y'all.
Bye.
See you, everybody.
Yep,
Bye.
thanks for having